Karen Read retrial. Key testimony shapes critical stage of high-profile case. The retrial of Karen Read, accused of causing the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, continues to draw national attention as new testimony and forensic evidence challenge the original narrative. Background of the case. In January 2022, John O'Keefe was found unresponsive in the snow outside a home in Canton, Massachusetts, following a night out with Karen Read. Prosecutors allege that Read, while intoxicated, struck O'Keefe with her SUV during an argument and left him to die in sub-freezing temperatures. He suffered blunt force trauma and hypothermia. Read has pleaded not guilty to charges including second-degree murder and vehicular manslaughter. Her defense maintains she is being framed, arguing that O'Keefe was attacked inside the home and left outside afterward. Central arguments. Prosecution's position. The prosecution claims that Read was angry with O'Keefe and, after dropping him off, reversed into him with her vehicle. Investigators point to broken taillight fragments found at the scene and testimony that Read said, "I hit him," upon discovering the body. They also cite angry voicemails and text messages she allegedly sent to O'Keefe around the time of his death. Defense's response. The defense counters that the physical evidence doesn't support the collision theory. They argue that the taillight pieces were planted and that injuries on O'Keefe suggest an attack by a dog inside the house. They also question the integrity of the investigation, pointing to misconduct by a lead investigator who was later removed from the case. Key testimony and forensic analysis. Jennifer McCabe, a friend of Read's, testified that Read repeatedly asked if she could have hit O'Keefe after finding him. The phrasing is being heavily scrutinized as it could imply confusion or guilt. Digital forensic expert Ian Whiffen analyzed O'Keefe's phone data, showing no movement and a steep temperature drop after 12:30 a.m., which the prosecution says supports their timeline. However, Whiffen acknowledged that the GPS data from the phone may not be fully reliable and could suggest O'Keefe was inside the house for some time. Crash reconstructionist Dr. Daniel Wolf challenged the theory that Read's SUV hit O'Keefe at a high speed. He said the damage to the vehicle didn't match that scenario. Wolf also faced questions about his communication with the defense in violation of a court order during the earlier trial, potentially impacting his credibility. Ongoing public interest. The retrial has sparked significant public debate, with vocal supporters and critics of both Read and the investigative process. The case has raised broader concerns about accountability within law enforcement and the integrity of criminal investigations. As the trial progresses, jurors must weigh conflicting interpretations of physical evidence, witness credibility, and the timeline of events. The outcome could have lasting implications for those involved and the public's trust in the justice system.
There was no outward concern, there was no outward happiness or joy, just very, very stone-faced, very neutral expressions on all their faces. And now they've got to go home, and they're waving. Yep. And as they go away now, the question, for this crowd, how long do they stay? How long do they linger? How many of them will be back tomorrow? My guess is most of them will be back tomorrow. Let me ask a few of them if they're coming back tomorrow. You guys coming back tomorrow?
We'll be here.
You'll be here?
Yes.
Coming back?
Hopefully.
Okay. What are your thoughts? Who's coming back tomorrow?
Catching a flight back to Dallas this morning. I was hoping for a verdict today, but
Okay. So you're in from out of town?
I came in just for today, hoping for the best.
I'll be here. You'll be there? Okay. All right. So we'll see. I know you'll be back. You'll be back. Absolutely. So you did actually have some folks who were either on vacation or passing through or came up for a short time that are heading out of town. But I think most of the locals will stay and they'll come back. But you can see how quickly the crowd sort of disperses. Now they know there's not going to be a verdict today. Karen Read is heading back, I guess, to the hotel with the defense team as they now have to sleep on it, knowing that tomorrow could be the day. And this is the one thing, Michael and Judge Ashley, I always think about for every criminal defendant, especially when they're not in custody. They don't know what this jury's going to do. Like, you could be going back to your hotel tonight and eating your last meal as a free person. Like, that's a heavy, heavy weight. And just to be able to understand that, I think, is important in this moment. And then the family of John O'Keefe, who is seeking justice, who believe that Karen Read is responsible for what happened to John. And for them, having to come back another day. And here they are. They're leaving as well. We can take a look. They're the O'Keefes. And that's difficult as well, coming back day after day, week after week, month after month, and at this point, year after year. They've been living this for years now without any sort of conclusion. So there we go.
You know, Vinny.
So I guess that's the story here today. And we'll be back again tomorrow. We'll be here, obviously. I'll be on tonight from 8 to 10. We'll do some analysis and talk to some of our insiders. But I think there's a level of disappointment here today because I'm telling you, from the beginning of the day, people were expecting a verdict today. And obviously the verdict the folks here were cheering for didn't happen today. I guess they're going to hold hopes that it happens tomorrow. But I'm definitely sensing a level of disappointment. And I think I've got to leave because I'm standing in the street right now. So I'm going to step back over to the curb.
All right.